Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. The reserve amount to set up a new XRP account is too high. I have been persuaded of that, and this is the right time to talk about this as an XRP community because, as you'll see, and I'll get into as we get into the video, as the price of XRP rises, as I think we're all pretty much anticipating will be the case, the current reserve amount is going to be a notable barrier to entry, which frankly could result, and it will, I mean, let's be real, it will result in an unknown number of people not purchasing XRP or purchasing less, and I'll explain why as we go forward. But I'm going to share with you perspective from an XRP ledger developer, We'd Wind, and also perspective from somebody who's running a validator on the XRP ledger, and they're both in favor of dramatically dropping the XRP reserve. Now, there's all sorts of debates that have been going on about this for some time, and there's the question of, okay, well, if you lower it too much, is it going to overwhelm the network? And the answer is it could, but then are there solutions for that as well? So we'll get into it. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so I actually couldn't remember off the top of my head, because I haven't thought about it in a long time, what the original reserve amount was for XRP to set up a new XRP account. I did remember that it used to be in the hundreds, but it's actually higher than I remembered until I read this. This is a page that I found after doing a quick internet search. This is from the GateHub website, which, funny enough, this is actually, I actually used them in Shapeshift to get my initial XRP I used. What did I do? Some convoluted process. At the time, Shapeshift I think was different back then. But back in 2017, I had purchased a cryptocurrency. I don't know if it was Bitcoin or ETH. And then I used Shapeshift to convert that to XRP, and then it landed in my GateHub wallet. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I pulled up this website, though, and they noted the following. In the past, XRP reserves were already reduced from 1,000 XRP to 200, then 20, and now to 10 XRP. Now, since there are people new to XRP at this moment, I understand that there is a little bit more excitement around this. Everybody might not understand necessarily what this means, but in order to set up your own XRP account and take self-custody, you have to have a certain amount of XRP, the reserve, that is just kind of stuck in the wallet for that moment. Now, you can delete your wallet, and then I think you get, right now, you get like 8 of your XRP back, and I think the other 2 actually do get burnt, unless I'm mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's correct. But in order to set up an account, a certain amount of XRP just has to be there, and it's basically stuck unless the reserve amount is lowered, and then you can move it, or if you delete your account, then you can get most of it back anyway. And the reason that exists is to prevent people from spamming the network. Because you can imagine if it were free to create accounts, you could just basically do a denial of service attack, like a DDoS attack, and then just spam the network, new account, new account, new account, overwhelm it, and the whole thing falls apart. So instead, they made it so that you have to have skin in the game if you want to create an account. And then so you can create as many as you want, but it's going to get really costly if the network starts to get overloaded, because as network activity goes up, so does the cost for transactions, so on and so forth here. And so the original reserve amount was 1,000 XRP, and this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Think about this. Imagine the reserve amount had never been changed. At a price of, we're close to, I know we're a little shy of this, at least at the time I'm recording this, but we're basically around $1.50 per XRP as I record this, which means that if the reserve amount were 1,000, you would need to spend $1,500 just as a reserve, which you could, just to set up the account. And then you could use any amount above that. You could move that, any amount above that, but the rest is stuck unless or until the validators would vote to bring down that reserve amount, right? And so, of course, as the price of XRP has increased, since that's a very obvious problem, the reserve amount has been voted on and it has come down. And so then it was dropped ultimately. This is a dramatic drop. They went from 1,000 XRP, when XRP was worth almost nothing, like, a fraction of a penny, from that to 200. So, but even at a 200 XRP reserve, today it would still cost, what, about $300 to set up a new account? So that's not tenable, not at a price of $1.50 per XRP. And then it was reduced to 20 XRP, and that's what it was when I jumped into crypto in 2017. It had already been moved down to 20. But still, that's $30 at the current price to set up a new account. And so then, last market cycle, as things were heating up, it was reduced yet again, down to 10. But even then, at the current price, it's $15 roughly to set up a new XRP account. Now, you can debate about, excuse me, you can debate about to what degree this impacts people purchasing XRP or how much they're going to purchase. And there's no way to know for sure. I'll tell you, I speculate this. And I admit it's speculation. I don't have proof. But I think that most people that buy XRP or really any cryptocurrency on an exchange, they don't take self-custody. That's my suspicion. And there's no way to know for sure because, see, here's the thing. If you're purchasing on an exchange, the reserve amount doesn't apply to you on pretty much any exchange because your XRP that you purchase, it's just going to be in the exchange's wallet. It's going to be with everybody else's XRP. So for that reason, it doesn't matter. You can literally sell 100% of your XRP. You don't have to worry about the reserve if you're on like Coinbase, for example, right? And I do suspect that's what most people are doing. So for those people, it's not going to matter. But I don't know what percentage want to take self-custody. I suspect it's less. But even then, even if you're going to take self-custody, then the question is, even if you want to do that, how likely are you going to do that and how much XRP you're going to buy? If say XRP runs to $10, which is plausible. Say it runs to $10 with the current $10 or not $10. With the current 10 XRP reserve amount, if XRP runs to $10, that's $100 just as a reserve that's just stuck there. Think about that. Do you think that's going to deter some people? Because I do. I don't know what percentage, but there are some, and it's not good, obviously. And the thing is, when the price starts going, it moves up fast. If you've been in crypto for more than 5 seconds, you are well aware of that. XRP went from about 20-something cents to almost $4 in 2.5 weeks. And you need validators to quickly respond to change this. So, in the environment, so would we be able to? And that's why I say this would be the time to have this discussion. And thankfully, the discussion has been going on in recent months in particular. But you can see the problem. What if XRP runs that high? Or what if XRP runs to $20? You got a 10 XRP reserve. So a couple $100 just as a reserve, and then that's stuck? There are tons of people who are only making small purchases with a bunch of different cryptos. It's kind of concerning in that sense, don't you think? And so here's a post from Vet. He is a XRP Ledger DUNL validator, and he shared this post just the other day. I have voted on lower reserves on the XRP Ledger from 10 XRP for account activation to 1 XRP, and then also from 2 XRP for e.g. token trust lines to 0.2 XRP. After many discussions on X, it's the right time for it. I'll monitor and adjust it if needed. Yeah. To me, it seems like the answer is very obviously yes. We're in a bull run, folks. I mean, unless you think XRP is not going to go any higher in price, in which case I guess we could sit here. But even then, there's questions from developers as to what degree at the current level, it's suppressing adoption of the XRP ledger, which is totally legit to ask. There's also this post. Vet said just the other day, we just need 7 more validators to vote for it to go live. Okay. So getting closer, to me, I view this as a net plus. I would like for this to happen. Somebody else asked him, question for if this amendment gets passed, will your locked up XRP get released and put back into the wallet? Or is this just for new accounts and such? And so it's a good question, but it is a misunderstanding of how this is set up, and Vet did set this straight. He said, the XRP never left your wallet, it's just not freely spendable. If reserves are reduced, the surplus in reserves becomes spendable for payments, tokens, NFTs, etc. It's a continuous vote, not an amendment to change the code. So a couple things. First of all, as far as this being a continuous vote and not an amendment, I actually didn't know that, which probably isn't that surprising. Like I'm not running a validator here. I'm not one of the awesome ass tech nerds in our community. And so I was actually unaware of this. So even after 7 years, I'm still learning stuff. I actually assumed that it would have been an amendment that would have to have been put forth in order to change that, but that's not the case. It's just a continuous vote. So I found that interesting. And then, it's to make the point here, like say you have exactly 10 XRP and the reserve is 10 XRP, if you're not going to delete the account, then literally there's nothing you can do with the XRP. It's just stuck because of the reserve amount of 10 XRP. But if your wallet doesn't change, it's still just got that 10 XRP, but then the reserve amount changes from 10 down to 1, well, now you can move those XRP. It's just freed up. It's exactly as Vet has described it there. It's just going to be freed up that way. And so there was this article. This is from the Crypto Basic, and it's from October 17th, exactly on this topic. And I want to highlight this for just well, you'll see why. XRPL Labs founder votes to reduce XRP account reserve fee by 90% from 10 XRP to 1 XRP. And look, there's precedent for this. I just showed you that we went from 1,000 reserve XRP down to 200. That's an 80% reduction. It's not like this is as crazy as it might sound to some on the surface here. But they were highlighting, and this is just a little over a month ago, mind you, that they were highlighting that, the 10 XRP reserve today, well, I say today, October 17th when they posted this, it was already $5.50. Now it's almost $15 because the price of XRP is going up. Doesn't this highlight the problem? XRP continues to be successful, keeps continuing to be adopted. More people flock to it, and it's been artificially suppressed for so long. If this price keeps going up, this will to some degree be a deterrent. I absolutely, and so I would just say this: as long as the network is not going to get overwhelmed and it's not going to get spammed to death, if the developers think it's safe to do that, I can only yield to their wisdom because I'm not one of the badass tech nerds out there. I'm just not the tech guy. As long as the consensus is this is probably safe, then okay. And then the thing is, it can always be changed. And it will be changed in the future, whether even it needs to go the other direction. Okay. Even if say the price of XRP crashes, okay, well then you move the other direction if you absolutely have to. And so there's this post from Wietse Wind, developer here. He's the XRPL Labs. He founded that, built the Summon wallet, and this is what he had to say on October 16th. There have been several discussion threads about reserves and fees on the XRP ledger. On behalf of XRPL Labs, I just changed the configuration on our validator to be enabled the next validator restart. We will vote for, and he's got three things here. The first thing is transaction fee increase actually from 10 drops to 200 drops. Okay, so I'll pause to note for anybody that's new that inside of 1 XRP, there are 1 million units. Each individual unit is called a drop. So the smallest unit inside of an XRP is 1 drop, and there are 1 million of them. 1 million of them, 1 million drops equals 1 XRP. It's the same thing, right? And so he's proposing that the transaction fee minimum increase from 10 drops to 200 drops. Now, in this particular post, maybe he articulated elsewhere, but in this post, he didn't state why he would want that to go up. It's still, transactions are so cheap at that level, it's effectively free. But I speculate the rationale would be that it would help to prevent spamming of the network if that's the starting point. And you might think it's so cheap that it's free regardless of which one of those it is. Well, yeah, but still, you'd have to have such a massive attack and spend so much money. You might as well have the higher starting point. I'm guessing that's the thinking anyway. And then the next point is he says account reserve down from 10 XRP to 1 XRP. So that's the big one we're talking about. And then he says he wants the object reserve to go from 2 XRP to 0.2 XRP. So that would be for if you're setting up a trust line. And then he says, what we believe this vote will do is make it slightly, still very cheap, more expensive to transact, and limit barrier to entry / participation. The number one concern would be increased activity on the ledger to the point where it becomes a challenge for infrastructure. At this point, I feel this is a good problem to have. We have dealt with and lost sleep over infra challenges before, and we will again. In my opinion, we face the choice between an easy-going ledger that's hardly being used and a ledger that gets more use with some challenges. Bring the challenges. True engineers love challenges. If increased use of the ledger due to lower barrier to entry means infrastructure providers have to step up their game again in whatever way, whether it's hardware, configuration, horizontal scaling, economics, monetization, then so be it. A good problem to have. We're doing all of these things anyway. Bring it. Okay, I find the argument compelling. Now, mind you, I'm not a developer, but I'm look. As long as this is not something that's going to result in the successful spamming of the XRP ledger, then I tend to say, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Especially when I'm anticipating what the price of XRP might be by the end of this market cycle. I'm like, yeah, reserve might be a little bit high there. Might be a little bit high. And then in a separate post, he wrote this. Account reserve is currently 10 XRP. We will vote for 1 XRP. People wonder why. Why not 5? Why not 2? It's impossible to quantify the amount of users being scared off by a 2 or a 5 or 10 XRP reserve. We don't know who these users are, what they will come for, chicken egg use case may not exist, and where they live. Geography influences purchasing power. But what I can tell is that for several projects, including Summon Wallet, 1 XRP is an amount a project can consider sponsoring by just giving it away, by factoring it in as an onboarding cost of new users. If the account reserve is low enough for projects to consider it a reasonable cost for new clients, they are simultaneously incentivized to have a good monetization strategy to cover these costs, as well as making it within reach or consideration to cover onboarding costs. It brings opportunity and it brings healthier economic opportunities. So that's why the vote for going all the way down to 1 XRP straight away. Okay. And you guys are just going to have to tell me what you think, but even as a non-developer sitting here in the midst of this bull run, I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, maybe we should probably do something, What do you guys think? What do you find most compelling? Arguments like that or any sort of argument you've seen to the contrary? But I'm like, yeah, lower that bitch. Lower that bitch down to 1, okay? Remove that reserve down to 1. I would not mind seeing that in the least. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.